I'm glad you made it, Inquisitor. I fear they've already started the ritual.
Blood magic, I'd wager. You can smell it, or see the corpses. You take point. I'll guard your backs.
Wait! No.
Warden Commander Clarel's orders were clear.
This is wrong!
Remember your oath. In war, victory. In peace, vigilance. In death...
I'm sorry.
sacrifice. Good. Now bind it just as I showed you. Inquisitor, what an unexpected pleasure. Lord Livius Erimond of Virantium, at your service.
You are no warden.
But you are. The one Clarel let slip. And you found the Inquisitor and came to stop me. Shall we see how that goes?
Wardens! This man is lying to you. He serves an ancient of Intermagister who wants to unleash a blight.
That's a very serious accusation. Let's see what the Wardens think. Wardens, hands up. Hands down.
Corypheus has taken their minds.
They did this to themselves. You see, the calling had the Wardens terrified. They looked everywhere for help.
Even to Vinter.
Yes, and since it was my master who put the calling into their little heads, we in the Venatori were prepared. I went to Clarel full of sympathy, and together we came up with a plan. Raise a demon army, march into the deep roads, and kill the old gods before they wake.
Ah, I was wondering when the demon army would show up.
You knew about it, did you? Well then, here you are. Sadly for the Wardens, the binding ritual I taught their mages has a side effect. They're now my master's slaves. This was a test. Once the rest of the Wardens complete the ritual, the army will conquer Thedas.
Do you really want to see the world fall to the Blight? What do you get out of this?
The Elder One commands the Blight. He is not commanded by it, like the mindless Darkspawn. The Blight is not unstoppable or uncontrollable. It is simply a tool. As for me, while the Elder One rules from the Golden City, we, the Venatori, will be his god-kings here in the world.
So Corypheus influenced the Wardens and made them do this ritual?
Made them? No. Everything you see here, the blood sacrifices to bind the demons, the Wardens did it of their own free will. Fear is a very good motivator, and they were very afraid.
That's a lie. The Grey Wardens are heroes. They would never do this willingly.
The Grey Wardens care about nothing save stopping blights. They will do anything to accomplish that. You should have seen Clarel agonize over the decision. Burdens of command, I suppose.
Why would the Wardens try to kill the old gods?
A blight happens when Darkspawn find an old god and corrupt it into an archdemon. If someone fought through the deep roads and killed the old gods before they could be corrupted... Woof, no more blights, ever. The Wardens sacrificed their lives and saved the world.
That's madness!
For all we know, killing the old gods could make things even worse.
Well then, it's a good thing I'm taking this demon army off their hands.
Why would Clarel risk using demons?
Demons need no food, no rest, no healing. Once bound, they will never retreat, never question orders. They are the perfect army to fight through the deep roads. Or across Olay. Now they are bound to my master.
Release the Wardens from the binding and surrender. I won't ask twice.
No, you won't. The Elder One showed me how to deal with you in the event you're foolish enough to interfere again. That mark you bear, the anchor that lets you pass safely through the veil, you stole that from my master. He's been forced to seek other ways to access the Fade. When I bring him your head, his gratitude will be... Ah! Kill them!
So, that went well.
You were correct. Through their ritual, the mages are slaves to Corypheus.
And the Warden warriors? Oh, of course. It's not real blood magic until someone gets sacrificed.
Human sacrifice? Demon summoning? Who looks at this and thinks it's a good idea?
The fearful and the foolish.
The Wardens were wrong, Hawk. But they had their reasons.
All blood mages do. Everyone has a story they tell themselves to justify bad decisions. And it never matters. In the end, you are always alone with your actions.
I believe I know where the Wardens are, Your Worship. Erimond fled in that direction. There's an abandoned Warden fortress that way. Adamant.
Good thinking.
The Warden and I will scout out Adamant and confirm that the other Wardens are there. We'll meet you back at Skyhold.
Inquisitor.
Report. What's the situation in the Warden's fortress?
Bandits moved in. Worse than Quillbacks, if you ask me. They're holed up in there, and using it as a base to strike at our supply caravans. Blasted scavengers.
Report, Captain. What's the situation in the Western Approach?
I've had scouts investigate that Red Lyrium operation you smashed. I don't think anyone's getting into that cave anytime soon.
Carry on, Captain.
Yes, Inquisitor.
Inquisitor.
must stop the Wardens from carrying out this insane plan, Inquisitor. To seek out these old gods deliberately in some bizarre attempt to preempt the Blight.
And calling the army of demons. That's my favorite part.
The demons are nothing. They're a tool.
A tool that gives Corypheus an army.
That's not the point. The Blight is not something one smugly outsmarts. Forgive me. The entire... We must stop the Wardens from carrying out this insane plan, Inquisitor. To seek out these old gods deliberately in some bizarre attempt to preempt the Blight.
Grey Wardens have always been dangerous. They care for nothing beyond stopping the Darkspawn.
Like a fair maiden chasing a butterfly off a cliff. Except if you don't stop them, we'll all fall. Those fools and duty. Responsibility is not Forgive me.
I've seen bigger castles fall, but not better.
I can keep staring at this, but I won't get any closer.
Something I can help you with?
Yes. Possibly. We saw so many Red Templars at the assault on Haven. Perhaps all that was left of the Order. What we didn't see was Lord Seeker Lucius. Indeed, I've seen no hint of any Seekers amongst the Red Templars, or anywhere. I have a growing suspicion Corypheus has imprisoned them.
Why imprisoned? He could just as easily have killed them.
Not easily. But yes, they may be dead. But the Seekers began this war against the mages. They cannot have simply vanished. There must be a trail we can follow, yet so far I have only discovered hints.
But they could have ended up just like the Red Templars.
Seekers do not use lyrium. I assume Corypheus gained control of the Templars by corrupting the lyrium they were already taking. To do the same to a Seeker, you'd have to force the lyrium upon him. That may be what happened, but it couldn't have begun that way. We're missing a piece of the puzzle, Inquisitor. I need to find it.
Finding them obviously means a lot to you.
I left the Order, but I can never abandon them. I cannot even claim that rescuing them would be beneficial. They wouldn't look kindly on the Inquisition. But even so, if there's a chance... If we can spare resources to follow up on these leads, Inquisitor, I would appreciate it.
Thanks for coming.
You did well, Varric. The Inquisitor is just who we need.
It's been great. Murderous Wardens, archdemon attacks, plenty of blood mages and crazy Templars. Just like home.
I know how much you hated leaving Kirkwall.
This is the ass end of Thedas. You know they eat snails here? Still, I think I need to finish this out. If it weren't for me and Bartrand, none of this would have happened. So much for changing our lives.
That's what happens when you try to change things. Things change. You can't always control how. I tracked the Wardens to Adamant Fortress, Inquisitor. Your specialists have my full report.
Yes?
Liliana says the guests are on their way. The last inheritances are discovered, and taupe is not a spring color.
What do the people make of us?
There's scarcely a noble house that hasn't openly pledged its support.
Any...
None in particular. Those bands who impose the toll?
I must admit, I've never been able to understand Southern Templars. Back home, a Templar shows up and all you think is, oh dear, which Magister did I cross this time? Here, it's quite different. You're not thinking of actually joining their order, are you?
I find their talents useful, that's all.
Useful against mages. Speaking as a mage, it's a little disconcerting. Are you aware you smell different?
I do.
No one's mentioned it. Lyrium has a particular smell, like the air after a lightning strike. Not that I go about smelling you. I'm just saying.
I should go.
As you wish. Questions, questions.
I should go.
As you wish.
It doesn't surprise me you found the Wardens mixed up in all this. From first-hand experience, you should be wary any time my old order is involved.
I trust...
There have been a few scuffles with your Templars.
I'll leave...
Here is the request Solus made. Very well. So Varric knew where the champion was all along. That's the last time we sent Cassandra to interrogate.
Anything I should...
Our agent stationed near Adamant reports strange sounds. Curious lights around the fortress. At least 2 scouts have gone missing. We must make our move, and quickly.
Anything I should...
I've nothing to report at the moment.
I'll leave...
Inquisitor, what can I do for you, darling?
We need to head to Adamant Fortress as soon as possible. If there's a chance we can stop Corypheus from destroying the Wardens, we can't let it slip away.
What do you think we'll uncover in Adamant?
Nothing good. Hearing the Warden's plan was bad enough. Now we'll see it firsthand. Best case, we find a nightmare. Worst, we'll find a nightmare, then die painfully. I still can't believe what they're doing. I thought I understood the order.
Let's talk about the Grey Wardens. You must know...
Ah, the Wardens. I'm afraid we're less exciting than we seem.
Have you been hearing the calling too?
I know what Corypheus is. He has no sway over me.
Let's continue this at another time.
As you wish. I'll be here if you need me.
I wanted to thank you. When you came to see me, if there's anything... This sounded much better in my head.
I trust you're feeling better?
Yes.
Is it always that bad?
The pain comes and goes. Sometimes I feel as if I'm back there. I should not have pushed myself so far that day.
I'm just glad you're all right.
I am. I've never told anyone what truly happened to me at Ferelden's Circle. I was... not myself after that. I was angry. For years, that anger blinded me. I'm not proud of the man that made me. Now I can put some distance between myself and everything that happened. It's a start.
You're a better person than you give yourself credit for.
I appreciate the thought, but I know who I am. Anyway, I meant to thank you, not trouble you further. You've enough to worry about. How are you holding up?
I've met good people here. Knowing they have my back, it helps.
You certainly keep interesting company. I suppose I do as well.
We tracked Ehrman to Adamant Fortress. Hopefully we can stop this madness before it goes any further.
How could the Wardens willingly sacrifice their own members to summon demons?
Grey Wardens leave their lives behind and dedicate themselves to fighting the Blight, no matter the cost. Our actions may be brutal, even reprehensible, but we know that the alternative is worse. The rituals, the sacrifices. It's too far, even for me. But I can understand them making the decision. Had I not known Corypheus was involved, I might have bowed my head and accepted my orders.
We'll talk later.
First the Templars, now the Grey Wardens. Both devoted their lives to fighting evil. Now they serve it.
I'm a Templar. I don't serve Corypheus. Neither do you.
A former Templar, and one who never joined the Order. I suppose that's something. The Inquisition must serve as an example. We must stand where others fall.
May I ask you something?
Of course.
Do you think Templars should cease to exist?
No. I may have left that life, but I know the good they do, and what you could accomplish. Magic ungoverned could tear the world apart. It's doing so now. Templars are trained and able to confront such dangers.
What would you suggest?
Some call the Circle a prison that can only breed resentment. Perhaps opportunities to work outside the Circle. A mixed military service or healers' clinics with Templar support. And there must be a safer way for Templars to leave. Templars can lose their memories to lyrium. Some call it a gift, to forget the failed harrowings, the demons. Some atrocities haunt me still. But to lose what good I can recall, I nearly lost my mind once. It is no gift.
I'm going to lose my memories.
It's possible. If you take lyrium for the rest of your life, I've seen it happen. Mostly in older Templars. They start to forget. Small things at first. A misplaced item, words to a song. But more fades away over time. I'm sorry, I thought you knew.
You still regret the man you became after leaving Ferelden?
After the Ferelden Circle, I thought all mages were like the ones there. Knight Commander Meredith's methods were harsh, but they kept people safe.
You've said Meredith was unstable.
She was my Knight Commander. I had no reason to distrust her. She wasn't wrong about the Blood Mages in Kirkwall. Meredith encouraged my anger towards the mages. There was only so far I would go, and she knew that too. I was her second in command. She kept decisions from me, those I would question. I believed she was serving the city. I never thought to question her, not until it was too late.
I hope you find the Inquisition's leadership more agreeable.
I am confident you will see us through to the end. The Inquisition is my chance to atone. I will not see it fail.
You've mentioned siblings. With everything that's happening, do you know if they're all right?
I've received word from my eldest sister. She was always good at tracking me down. South Reach has experienced the same chaos as everywhere else. My family is fine. Pray they remain so.
Your sister tracked you down. She didn't know where you were.
I let her know I was in Haven. She assumed I survived. It's not the first time. I may have neglected to tell her when I was transferred to Kirkwall.
Why?
I wasn't in a good state. I wanted only to leave. I received an angry letter about my disappearance 2 years later. For all her reprimands, it was a relief to hear from someone who knew me before the Blight.
The Inquisition won't last forever. What will you do when this is over?
To be honest, I hadn't given it much thought until recently. I'm not used to having so many possibilities.
That's all I wanted to know.
I'm sure you have other matters to attend. I'd be perfectly happy never again setting foot in the Winter Palace. It wasn't the gossip and backstabbing, I know what the game entails, but the indifference to it all.
I didn't care for it myself.
I shouldn't be surprised. The Chantry can be the same. Their politics are less extravagant, but just as heated. The Empress rules a country. The Divine influences half a continent.
Is there anything I should know?
Many of our recruits viewed the Grey Wardens as heroes. Blackwall's presence is helpful. Knowing there's one Warden immune to corruption has given people hope. Corypheus's grasp is not inescapable.
Is there anything I should know?
My senior officers report that the soldiers are in good spirits. Having the Imperial Army as an ally has bolstered their confidence. The Orlesian military is highly regarded. Of course, I'd wager our own recruits are equal to any Chevalier.
Is there anything I should know?
There are fewer arguments between our Templar and Mage recruits than when we started. I've seen them trading stories, building one another up for the fight to come. I pray this won't be lost when their common enemy is gone.
Is there anything I should know?
Not at present.
What do you think of the people?
Who do you mean?
How do you like
the Inquisition? Cassandra may have declared the Inquisition publicly, but...
Are you satisfied with the Inquisition's forces?
I'm glad we were able to secure the Orlesians as allies. I've received word from the Imperial Army. They are ready to march with the Inquisition when called upon.
I should let you get...